Phil, of course, comes in once a month and talks about things that are going on with the city. And I do know that you had a work session finance meeting last night. Anything develop out of that?
Well, one thing I should mention first is the compost site will be open. Well, it's going to reopen again until the 26th of November because with all the snow and all that, and people still have leaves, so it's going to be open. I think it was supposed to be closed the 15th of this week. It was supposed to be the final week or something like that. And he decided let's go until the 26th, day before Thanksgiving. And then once it, weather clears, I think by the weekend, so I think it'll be open. The days it's supposed to be. So it will be open until next Wednesday, the 26th.
And then it would close for the winter.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But they want to give people their last chance to get stuff in, so they will be doing that. And it'll probably be announced in the paper. And Martha and Mark Todd were there too. So.
Okay, November 26th, compost site open, and then close after that.
Right. So that, and the finances are still tight. We're going to probably add a part-time firefighter due to the fact that they're very busy. And I do have to mention something about the fire department. Last Friday I received a call from Dan Ellenberger from the University Hospital EMS service. They provide some of the training for the team. And I do some work for university of serving meals to the local fire departments when they have their training. And he says, go to Conneaut Fire Department at 5 o'clock today and deliver dinner for 4 people. I said, okay. I thought that was kind of strange on a Friday because they had no class. Well, when I got there, I talked to John Chapman, and they had just got back from Cleveland. They had to rush a heart attack patient to Cleveland, a very serious heart attack patient. They had to drive because with the weather they couldn't life flight her, and with the Bernardos, Anthony and Mike Bernardo and Mr. Chapin, within an hour got the patient to University Hospital and saved her life. And I talked to Chief Lee yesterday, and she is back home.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is a very, very serious heart attack. They had to get her, and when they, when they have a heart attack like that, they got to get them within 2 hours, and they had to, through the weather and all that, got them up there. And,
wow.
And another, it's, we're very fortunate to have a great EMS service in the city of Conneaut, and we felt as council and the fire department said they needed some extra help, so we're going to put a part-time person on because they were very, very busy at that time, and they're very professional. And this is a.
What did you take? I mean, that's kind of
I took some ribs and some chicken.
Did you really?
Pumpkin, banana cream pie and something special for them. And Dan, felt that they, that this was for them. And another thing that, and I, they just purchased an ambulance that they have, that red ambulance, and I knew they had purchased it. And this, it's how the city is trying to save money. That is, the ambulance was like $190,000 ambulance, but they bought it off a community in Maine for $30,000 with only 50,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And for another $800, they brought it down here from this Maine. And what they've done now, they got 2 ambulances, so every other month, the red one will work 1 month, and then the other one's still stationed at station 3. They switch them off so there's not the wear and tear on them.
Yeah, good.
So it's a good cost savings for the city. So why didn't you get a new one? Well, this is, I looked at it, looked like brand new to me, and with only 50,000 miles on it, and $190,000 for $30,000.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, good deal. And now they're rotating the ambulance service.
And Phil, I go back when the ambulance service just started here, and that's what they did. I mean, they didn't go out and buy the brand spanking new. You can't do it. Even then.
And these is very thing. And you still have your volunteers. You got the professional. Full time, you got professional volunteers, so it's very good service. And I think kudos out to the fire department.
Absolutely.
And once again, last year they got an award from the University Hospital for saving a couple of people's lives. And, and that's what and I think we're very fortunate to have a service like that, plus the hospital that we have at University Hospital, one of the nation's best, and along with the ACMC with their new clinic out there. So we're very well blessed with the healthcare. Hopefully we never need it, but hopefully we'll have it there.
Excellent news. I was not aware that they had gotten that vehicle.
Yes.
Okay, let's take this call, Phil. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Bill. This is Kenny.
Hi, Ken.
How you guys doing today?
Good.
Keep it warm.
That's right.
Yeah, me too. and I just want to call and say good morning to you guys. Hey, Phil,
Yes,
keep the good work up.
thank you.
Yeah, take care.
All right, thanks,
Yeah,
Ken.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, what else happened to that meeting last night, Phil?
Let's go over the finances, you know, pretty much status quo, trying to, we're still gonna be on the street pavement progress, like John Williams says, we've added a couple people from last year, we added a police officer and a zoning person and another public works, so we gotta be careful of how many people we add or we don't add and try to keep the services that we do have, and I think we've done a pretty good job at that. And it looked like the budget seems to be pretty much online, and some of the capital improvements we have to do to the sewer plant, the water plant, and buying some vehicles. But we're very conservative, and all the department heads have been very conservative with the money, and that's why we have the carryover, and we're not and have enough money in case we have some problems that happen. So that I have to give credit to all the department heads, all the city workers that we have that
Sure.
Are watching our nickels and dimes and make sure that we're surviving. That sure, do we need more? Yes, but we got to go with what we have right now, and I think everybody's done a nice job of what we're going to do.
I got some good comments last week on the paving work that was done on Route 20.
Yeah.
People thought that was pretty progressive and
Yes.
it helped out the situation because that road was deteriorating.
Yeah, that was bad. The only thing we had, we probably caught it a little bit too late because it was a little bit more expensive because it was the end of the year. One thing I did mention last night at the council meeting, next year, another part of Route 20 is going to be, redone a little bit out there by the Conneaut Plaza by Oakland
Yeah.
and Highland. That's bad too. So maybe we can put that into it so we don't have to pay as much because we had to, bring the crew back out. But that was a very good job out there, Goldsmith's Curve and that.
Made a difference.
Yeah, it made a difference, and they have to put some striping out there. But and overall, the paving program they did have was, very nice. It was quick. Professionally done, and not that the city didn't do a good job, but when you only have 8 or 9 workers, it's kind of tough to get that done. And but it gave our city employees a chance to do some ditching and do some other work that needed to be done too. So and once again, if you get your staff built back up, yeah, we can maybe go back to that. But I think right now with the help we have and what we have with street plowing, I think they do an excellent job. And the snow plowing they did last weekend.
They did good.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I don't remember happening before. The plan of attack is always to get the main highway first and get the secondary roads. I live in a secondary road, and you know what? They were there that afternoon doing my road, and I go, that's good because there was quite a bit of accumulation there.
Yeah.
And I was really happy with the work they did.
Yeah, and I think they're getting a couple more trucks in. There's another thing, Mr. Luce, went out and looked for some bids and saved us about, I think about $30,000 on the trucks that we're getting, that we had estimated they were going to be, but he went out for some bidding, which we all do, but I mean, it saves us some money. So, all the department heads are doing a nice job of, trying to see what we're going to have there.
Absolutely. Anything new as far as the city manager spot?
That they've had about 15 or 20 applications. The closing applications is December 1st. From just what I hear, there's some local people and some other people looking at it. So it'll be interesting. What I look for, and I'm going to look for, is a person who is going to be out in the community and be involved in the community, and that and I think anytime you pick somebody that's personable and has some experience. If they don't have experience, sometimes we all have to learn on the job, and if they're have enough knowledge and stuff like about city government and things like that. And
I noticed that they have a search out in Geneva for the replacement for Jim Pearson, and I noticed the key word in that was they were hoping to get somebody local to do it. Whether or not that's the answer, I don't know. But I did hear through the grapevine that there are some local people on that list.
right.
So I don't know who they are, obviously, but. So do they have any idea how long the process will take, Phil?
Not really. I would think once December 1st comes, I think we'll get the 5 or 6 people or the top 10, and then we'll go through them and then pick them from there and then bring them in for interviews. So I would say, it'd probably be after first year before we do have.
Yeah, Debbie was on last week, and
Yeah.
she did say, she goes that some council members really wanted to get this thing moving and not hold off until after the holidays, because that, so you guys put this deadline on there, which is good, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything happening, like you say, until probably after the first of the year.
Yeah, because a lot of time, and a lot of council people, with the holidays and stuff like that, to get people together. But you don't know. Maybe we can get it done quicker than that. I don't know. And but one thing we have John Williams, who's done an excellent job.
He has,
I mean, he's on top of things, along with his financial things and keeping the city moving forward. And when you have good employees and good department heads, you can kind of,
You can get by.
You can get by. You can move on, and as long as there's not any big issues. And John is always in constant contact with us with emails or something that comes up or concerns. And if I have a concern, I can always call John or somebody like that. So it's not. You'd like to get it done. Better have it done sooner or later, but you don't want to rush the process. That's one thing I don't want to do. Is just all of a sudden, we got to have somebody in before December 31st.
And just stick a body in
yeah,
there.
and then, like I said, and you have to do background checks and maybe their references and stuff like that, and hopefully I'm sure there's people out there that will.
Another thing too, Phil. We mentioned the holidays being the kind of the bridge here between now and the first of the year. Even for a good candidate, it's hard to make transitions during the holiday season with family and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I definitely see this going into 2015.
Yeah, and that's one reason last night we went over the financial statements and the budget, so that there was nothing that we can get that passed and moved on. That John's got it through, and it wasn't anything earth-shattering. And we're also looking at some street lights out at the Love Travel Center, because that's very dangerous because of the darkness. And,
right.
John's looking out for that. And I've called Representative Patterson, and maybe ODOT can give us a hand. I know they said they don't want to do anything with it because but that's a state route. It's a gateway to Ohio, and so we can get anything out of that. So but if you don't ask, you don't get. So
that's right.
If you keep on asking and try to get something going, and it's a major interchange out there. So
you mentioned the budget, so it looks like John will be able to whip that into
right,
and to probably be passed before the end of the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
like
good.
I said, one thing that, like I said, that last year we hired a police officer, and then this year we're going to put a part-time firefighter on, because they are the busiest fire department in the county.
That's what I understand.
And they're very professional, like I said, and they're looking for more grants, and also we have to in the budget buy a new fire truck. The one they've got now, it's from '96 or '97, getting some issues, and and I asked about grants, and they said they've applied and still haven't got anything in wood. So that's a big ticket item there, but it's a need, it's a necessity. So we'll probably get a new fire truck.
Yeah, definitely, probably. Yeah. God, I didn't realize it's been that long since we got that last one there.
Yeah, and I guess the way they build it, I guess it's a little bit, it's tough to. Got some problems because they had to build it to fit into the fire station. So but they're so but like I said, you have to replace the equipment. It's and then we're talking about some new police cruisers, because they've got like a 2004 and 2005 and a lot of mileage on it, and you have to, because really when you look at it, all you do is throw good money after bad money, and when those cars get that old, and they'll probably just put them into either scrap them or put them in another department, which I've seen done like that. So we're moving along there. So.
Yeah, good. Sounds like we were on the right track here.
Right, and like I said, and then you look at the downtown with the Snap Fitness going on.
Yeah,
street.
I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, and the Starlight Visio. So there's some movement there, and the main thing, and you make sure, like John says, keep the services we do have and make sure they're maintained. And that's what we're trying to do. Try not to move too fast and replace everybody at once, or try to do something, because if something happens, you don't want to go backwards. So we're trying to keep an even keel and try to keep things straight.
I did talk to John Mundy the other day, and he's the gentleman that owns Starlight Video, and he moved it over to the Old City News business there, building, and it's really nice in there. I went through there a couple weeks ago. He did say that the Chinese restaurant are making moves now to, I believe they've taken up the floor and are putting in plumbing and all sorts of things that they need to follow code, and he's hoping that they will be in business by Christmas, so that would be another addition.
Yeah.
And right next door to it, there's an insurance office that's going to open up after the first of the year, so we're starting to fill up some buildings, and I think that's a good thing.
And then about the bunkhouse, they were talking, they're going to start moving on the bunkhouse if we can get that torn down.
Right.
I think there's still some things we have to do to get through it, but we gave John the okay to start in the process, what needs to be done, how to do it, and that would be another plus for the city to get that torn down and maybe get another building down there. You don't need those buildings that are blighted, and like I said, one store at a time, and you get it done. And now, some of the factories are doing pretty good. General Aluminum, Conneaut Leather, just get those going, a little bit more, and maybe pick up another factory here or there too. But I think the chances of getting a real big one anymore, I think they're slim and none.
Yeah,
but I mean, you build on small people. If you can get a factory, machine shop or a wood shop or something for 10, 15, 30, 40 people, get a couple of those, and then you're moving along.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know before Tim left, he told me that there actually is a couple businesses here and industries in town that are going to expand, hopefully, and add on, and he thought maybe that would bring some more workers too. Probably not a ton of them, but hey, like you say, we got to do what we can get,
Yeah, you have to do what you got to get.
Yeah.
I'd like to get something out at the Conneaut Plaza, not the Conneaut Plaza, but out of Gateway, where Kmart left, because that's a void.
Giant Eagle.
Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
That's I think they're still storing stuff out there.
I think they are a Giant Eagle.
Yeah, Giant Eagle.
I'd like to see Kmart.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, I talked to a guy a few weeks ago that said there's so much work that has to go into that building.
Oh, I can imagine with the roof. Imagine
Yeah.
probably the inside. I imagine they didn't do much to that.
No.
And it's not going to get any better. And
The longer they leave it there, the worse it's going to get.
And it's unfortunate what happened. It's nothing that the city could have done. We did as much as we could to try to help them, and those people try to put the blame on us about the signs and that. But we've done everything possible with the tourism board.
Well, you even talked to the owner.
Yes.
Out in California.
Yeah. So, and we've done a lot. Tried to bring the area up. The cleanup of the city and the lawns and stuff like that. And and plus the paving project. I mean, that helps. When you start paving the streets, I think that helps everybody in the neighborhood. Your street's kind of not very well maintained or something like that, but it's starting to get paved and stuff like that. And we're going to start paving more next year, so that helps that helps everybody.
Of course, Phil, you handle, is it the west end? Or,
Yeah, west end.
But actually, your ward is actually much bigger than that.
Yeah, it's out on southern Under Ridge Road, Keefus Road.
I never realized that.
Yeah, it's a very big ward. So it's a big area, but and it's like any council person. You can call any council person whether you live in that ward or not. We're always willing to help. People, I don't, because sometimes maybe another council person is busy or out of town, and feel free to call anybody, for the question, or we'll try to get the answer for you.
Sure. And if you have any questions for Phil today, as I mentioned, you can call in 593-7181, and he'll try to answer it for you. If he doesn't have the answer, I know you get to it and try to find out what's going on. So, Phil, you're pretty optimistic that going into 2015, even though our budget is a little light, it has been for several years, we'll be okay.
Yeah, we should be okay. Yeah, that like I said, the conservative spending that we've had, we made some capital improvements, with the water towers. You put the home of the Spartans. That looks very nice.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Creek Road water tower done, and we're trying to keep the inner structure done, and what we need, capital improvements we need to be done. The water rates, they're still lower than everybody else. We did have to raise them last year, and I think we're going to keep them the same. I didn't see any increase on that, or the sewer rates. The upkeep on the equipment and things like that. And we'll also have to look, and we're also talking about last night about a new roof on the old station too.
Oh yeah.
It needs some repairs to the city hall that hasn't been done. I think Nick's saying in 20-some years. That, you know, some of the stuff we just, you know, we're not going to spend a lot of money, but let's see what we can afford to, you know, start doing
Sure.
some of the stuff, because if you don't do it now, you either pay now or pay later.
Right.
And if you pay later, it's going to be a lot more than what we have. So we have to look at our buildings and stuff like that.
Did I hear Phil or read, and I haven't heard this personally myself, but I thought I read it, that John Williams thought that maybe water bills would have to go up. Was it water bills?
Water, yes, yeah. He was talking about that, but I didn't see that in the budget.
No.
He didn't say anything about that.
Okay.
But we're maybe thinking about it. Maybe until the new city manager gets in and see what he
Yeah.
wants to do. Because with some of the stuff that has to be done at the water plant, EPA stuff that has to be done. And I know the sewer plant, we plan on doing some stuff down there with the filtrations and stuff like that. And you got to keep on top of that stuff, especially with, you know, the EPA regulations and stuff like that.
Did you notice, maybe you didn't have a chance to check on this at all, but you know, with the street lighting that we have and that little $2 thing,
Yeah.
I think council put into effect that nobody gets a rebate or anything
No.
now. If that's gone away.
Right.
Has that helped out, do you know?
Somewhat, yes. You know, we're still a little bit short, and you know, one thing I'm pushing for, and I asked John Williams to give me a price quote on putting a street light out at Under Ridge in Middle and South Ridge in Middle.
Okay.
You know, that's one thing I'm pushing for. If we can, you know, get a couple lights out at a couple of those intersections. You know, I can't get them all covered in a year, but if we can get, you know, if it's reasonable, because those are, you know, two main intersections. Maybe next year, in 2017, go on the other side of the South Ridge, and maybe Kephas and Under Ridge, Kephas and South Ridge, because those seem to, you know, South Ridge and Under Ridge seem to be the two main roads out there.
Right.
If we can get some lighting out there, because I think, you know, how dark it gets out there, and those are pretty main intersections, a lot of traffic out there. So I am pushing for that. Whether we have enough money to do it or not, he's got it. You know, that's price quote he's getting also. You know, for the 4 lights out at the Loves, and then 2 more out at those places.
Is there any indication of how much that would cost out
No,
there?
no. I think they had got it at one time, but that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, times have changed.
Yeah, times changed. And I thought it was I can't remember what the price was, but like I said, I talked to John Patterson. I left him a message. I said, you know, at least have ODOT help us with that. You know, those lights out there at 7 and 90 there, because that's awful dark intersection out there. You know, granted, when they took the traffic studies, that was years ago, but now that, you know, with the tourism and, you know, D-Day event and, you know, a lot of things, and you also have to look. You know, that's a exit to get off for camping down at Andover too. I mean, that, you know, you look at that, and you know, the covered bridges and things like that. So.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, can you tell me, Pat, how the roads are this morning?
They were slippery. Let me defer that to Phil, because he drove in further than I did. How are they?
They were slippery, snow covered. I would be very careful, because when the wind blows and stuff like that, I would think a lot more of it's a black ice type of thing, slippery. It's not ice, but it, you know, you'll slide on them though. But I think it all depends where you work. I came in on Route 20. Where I live, it wasn't too bad. Then I got down by the Dairy Queen. They're all snow covered. And I got on the east side, they're all snow covered. So I'd be very careful.
Yeah, go slow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, we want to mention a couple of things here so we can sneak this in here. Mariana Branch, the librarian out at the Kingsville Public Library, has informed us quite a while ago, actually now, that the library will be closed today in Kingsville. She said at the time that she made this decision, it didn't look that bad outside, but the County Emergency Management Agency said it could get worse throughout the day today, plus minus 4 with the wind chill. Just didn't want to encourage people to come out. She encourages them to stay home and stay warm. So the library is closed. Now also, Tops, Ohio, 971 has been canceled. So that's been canceled because of the weather conditions as well. As Phil said, if you're out driving, you'll have a little bit of a problem when the gusty winds are blowing out there, where you'll have the snow kind of hamper your visibility a little bit. So just go slow, and I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. The plows have been out, the salters have been out. I don't know whether the salt even works when it's this cold. You know.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem that it seems like the pavement is still kind of wet in a lot of spots. So I think it's still kind of warm because we're still in November. So
Yeah.
But I'd be very careful though. It's just
Yes.
and like I said, it's cold out. Get your windows defrosted and your headlights clear and your tail lights clear.
Yeah, make sure you do that.
Yeah, because a lot of people just get in their cars and
They take off.
just take off.
And have a little hole.
A little hole, and they don't have their headlights clean, and then their tail lights, and turn your headlights on. It's just be safety conscious. So
Yeah.
It's a little bit dicey out there.
Little bit.
Said by this weekend it's supposed to be up to 50 again. So,
Yeah.
I
It'll
want to
go
mention
away.
again, like I said, the compost sites will be back open again once the snow melts, and if you have any questions, call City Hall.
So in other words, right now they're closed.
Yeah.
And they will open up probably next week.
I would think so. When the weather breaks, I would call City Hall and find out exactly. But they plan on keeping it open until the 26th. And I guess when it was closed last week for Veterans Day, somebody brought stuff over and just dumped it right at the gate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that you always get those people to do that. But from what I understand, it's done a very good job. And Nick had mentioned last night that they were going to extend the date till the 26th. And Randy,
It was supposed to close, I think, the
15th.
The 15th, and now they are going to keep it open until November 26th, and then it will close for the winter.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it'll reopen again in the spring.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
but
there
they
you
wanted
go.
for people because there's still leaves out there. I mean, you see snow, and there's leaves on top of it.
There's a tree next to my house that the leaves haven't even dropped yet. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on with that.
So you want to keep that, for another service, and that's another thing we did last year. You look at what we accomplished last year. This year the compost sites come back up, and we got quite a few things accomplished in the city, and the cleanups and the cars off the road, and the complaints, and the city does look better, and the new lighting downtown in Conneaut. There's pros and cons in that. They look nice, but they don't give us much light out as
They
the other.
don't. They don't.
But then again, I guess if the downtown was full with a lot of the activities with the in front of the stores, it looks good because there's light from the store coming out too. So.
Have they decided what they're going to do at the Port of Conneaut? Because there were lights that's supposed to go down there too.
Yeah, I haven't heard. I've heard. I've had some emails on it to keep the same lights that we have. So that's. I think that I after looking at that, maybe I would go with the same lights we have. Downtown maybe doesn't look too bad. And like I said, and plus we'll be saving the money, and that's another thing I'm looking at. Well, okay, we're going to save this money here for the electric.
Considerable,
downtown.
I guess.
Yeah. And I said, why not put that money we may save and put a couple lights out on the southern roads?
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I don't think we've ever approached that thing, but I just felt that those two intersections to begin with. If we get one, fine. If we get two, fine. And then you got to start someplace, and I think that's one place we can start at, because I think the maintenance of the southern roads have been very good this year, because I haven't got that. Another thing we discussed last night is the what are we going to put on the southern roads? Get a cost that John Roach said the one year that they did do it, they put it on in May or whatever, and it lasted the whole summer.
That'd be good.
Yeah. So what's the cost? Well, the brine is free, yes, but when can we get it? Like they said, we can call on Monday, say we're gonna do our roads, we need it Thursday. Well, say it rains or they can't get it to us. Last year, wherever they had, they could only do half of them, and I assumed they did all of them, and then I started getting calls about things. So if we can take care of it in May, get it done, and that way we don't have to worry about that. And as people, the families who live out there and the residents who live out there, this will be taken care of. I think last time it cost $12,000, and we can get Randy to get a price on us. But I think that's well worth the investment. That they take care of that, the dust, and if you have a dry summer and it's tough to get sometimes the brine, and you can't get it done all the time, and
You know, I've often told Tim Eggleston, and the same goes for John Williams. I wouldn't want to be in the position that they are in because they don't have extra income coming in. They're trying to get by on what
Right.
we by the shoestrings here, and it's not an easy
No,
job.
and then you got to watch what you spend, and like John said last night, do we need more people? Yes, but we can't just start, a little bit at a time, trying to get things situated and get things a little bit better. Did that police officer help us? Yes. Do we need more police officers? Yes. Will this part-time firefighter help us? Yes. Do we need another one? Probably. Street workers? Yes. Do we need more? Yes. Do we need more in the water department and everything else we have here? Yes. But
When we were kids,
yeah.
you had 38
Yeah.
street workers.
Right.
Now it's down to 8 or 9.
Right, and then you expect the same services, and the city didn't shrink.
It's still the same size.
And you got to give credit for everybody, and everybody on the boards and and everything that we have. That we appreciate that.
We got some very positive things coming out of our tourism board. The signs are pretty much up. And,
Yes.
Connie Naylor, of course, was given the honors for what is it? I think it was from the Ashtabula
Visitors Bureau.
for being like a Citizen of the Year type award.
Right.
And she was very humbled by that, by the way. But I think we've made some big strides with tourism here, more than we might even know, because I don't know, I haven't seen any reports or numbers yet from the Port Authority, but I think they had a pretty record year down there as far as boating and fishing. And
right. Yeah, I think so too. And then, like I said, people didn't know there was a beach here or marinas here. They're just driving by.
Right.
And then, like I said, you look at that corridor, and it helps out that Love's moved out there, because before there was nothing near the stop there. I mean, you just went by because it was dark, nothing there. I mean, you had a hotel, but if you're going to stop at a hotel, you're only going to stop at a hotel. There wasn't anything
to do, really. You didn't think anyway.
Yeah. There was a Burger King that they finally got built out there, but now with the truck stop and gas out there, that gives people a stop, because sometimes when you're traveling, and like I said, the tourist center's now open. And I think it's closed. It's still open, but I mean, there's not a person there. But at least we had somebody there, and the person who's in charge of tourism in the state of Ohio was supposed to come up and see us, but never did. But I think that's on our list for next year. I will continue to do that.
Yes.
See what how
Continue
busy
to hound him there.
Yeah, or her.
Or her, yeah.
But you stop out there, and I've stopped out a couple times. Just how many cars stop there a day?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Anytime you go in, there's 10, 15 cars there. Because you're thinking about the travel and the
And here it gets closed down.
Yeah, and you go up to the one in Pennsylvania, how nice that one is, and they always have a person there and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just the vending machines, they have to put this is vending machines. They don't have the concessions there because the vending machines are separate from the building. So people don't see that building over there. They should put a sign over there, which they haven't. But and then they didn't have coffee in there.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. People stop there, like to have a cup of coffee, and they didn't have a coffee machine.
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever got that taken care of or not. But
I haven't been out there in a long time. Mainly because I don't utilize it.
Right.
But I was there at the opening, and that was a big deal when it opened up, and it employed 4 or 5 people at one time.
Right.
But luckily, it after a lot of work behind the scenes, including with Phil, it did reopen, and at least we got some representation out there. Thank God. I mean, we're trying to promote tourism when we don't have a tourism.
Yeah.
Center.
It's not only for Conneaut, but you look at Andover, Ashtabula, the covered bridge, and the museums we have in here, and the bed and breakfasts that we have that would help everybody. Not only Conneaut but the whole county. And then the more people we have coming through, and like I said, that last time I was on that one group, the Frog, that they didn't realize how much Ashtabula County had to offer. Conneaut, the covered bridges, the museum, the railway museum. They said 5,000 people go through the railway museum in 3 months.
Yeah, I believe that.
I mean, and the historical museum and stuff like that. So you look at what we have to do, and there's a lot of things to do in Conneaut. That you talk about the Arts Center having all the concerts and stuff like that, and you have the on Buffalo Street, the new play thing where the church.
Oh, Arlene's,
Yes, another thing, great thing. There's like Penny always says, there's always things to do in Conneaut, you know, you can't say there isn't anything to do.
That's
You know,
right.
there's always something going on, whether it's a school activity, yeah, and a promotion we have. And you know, I have to give credit, you know, for the channels 6 and 21 with all the the AM Live and all the programs they run. You look at the church services are on TV. The concerts, the football games, and things like that. There's a lot of local things that you can see and do. And
Well, I know this, Phil. In the summer, starting in spring, you're probably around March. We are continuously getting prepared for different things, like you just said, the D-Day and 4th of July, and all the Rib Fest, all the things that are coming up in the summer. It's like every weekend there are things to do,
yeah,
and so it's a busy little town in the summertime, from the spring right through fall. And as you said, this little theater over here on Buffalo Street, beautiful facility, bringing nice shows in, and I guess it drew a lot of people, more people than the center did actually. So a lot of things are happening for the good here, and I think it's a positive way to be, way to go.
and people work together.
Yeah.
Just like Renee Roach, I saw her, the other day, or talking about the Thanksgiving dinner that we're going to do down in Corpus Christi.
Yep.
And there was where people come together.
Yeah.
And work at that. And many hands make easy work.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a committee together, and I'll be helping out there, and then everybody else. I was very impressed last year when I helped out.
Yep.
I had left about 11 o'clock, but all the students who were in CCD classes or whatever they had, and other people from other cities, and helping out with the deliveries and all that. And and if you're looking at like over 300 people you got to serve.
Yeah, and she said they're expecting that this year too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
that's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, the food pantry, what they have, and then what's it, Thursday, the concert at the Human Resource Center.
Voices of Hope. Yep.
Yes, very nice concert, and it's always televised and things like that. And then you look at the Veterans Day things that we had, that they had at the Human Resource Center, and then I was very impressed with the down Lakeshore Primary.
Oh,
those
yeah.
kids and how they sang, and the veterans, and American Legion was down there. That was
Yeah.
very impressive. What they did there. And I mean, it makes you proud to be in the city of Conneaut.
Yeah, you're very true.
I mean, it's
And don't forget now, Phil. Friday is Dom the Bomb and the Triple Threat.
oh, that's right. Yes.
They're going to be at the Kent Human Resource
Yeah,
Center.
I heard that.
Yeah, little kids that were on America's Got Talent, and they'll be here Thursday live.
Oh, okay.
So I hope they don't throw any cards at me. That's all I need.
You mean to be able to pick them up there?
Yeah, unbelievable. Phil, I want to thank you for coming in, because I didn't know whether you were going to be able to make it in, but it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad. I got up, I looked out, and I said, gee, and I said, well, I saw the wind blowing last night, and I kind of got up in the middle of the night, and I said, well, there wasn't much snow, but then I saw the schools canceled, and I said, well, probably with the wind and, the anticipation. I had a basketball meeting last night. I canceled it in Geneva last night because of weather.
Did you?
Yeah, but we could have had it, but you know what? It's better to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Getting somebody out there, school's important, but it's not that important where
True.
somebody's going to get hurt, or car accident,
Right.
bus accident, that you can always second guess, but you know what? Stay home, let's be safe, and
That's right.
that's the thing that you have to do. I mean, you can always make these days up and whatever, because
Right.
it's not that important that the kids are in school today, but just make it up. And school's important, don't get me wrong, but like I said, is it that important where somebody's going to get frostbite or slip
That's
on the
right.
ice? And and it's a big area to cover. I mean, it's not only what you have in the city of Conneaut. You got to look at out on the southern roads. I'm sure they're probably ice.
Oh, I bet.
I bet that's really tough out there, and you got to look at the whole picture for everybody.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like I said, the schools have done an excellent job, and you look at the Spark project and how that has progressed. The football team went 7-3 this year. A lot of positive things. And I was reading in the paper the new scoreboards for the high school gym. Greg Sweet's going to donate those.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of community involvement in the city. That when something happens, you need something. People pitch in and make it better.
They're there.
They're there, and there's always somebody pitching in and make sure everything is good.
Very good. Very
And,
good.
now next month, I don't know if I can be on. Depends on how busy my schedule is. But I just
Oh, the Christmas season.
it's Christmas season. But I'll try to squeeze some time in. And,
If not, we'll pick her up in January.
Yeah, and I wanted to give come in and tell you about the fire department and the compost site and
Sure.
see what's going on. And like I said, next year looks like a pretty good, you know, we keep a status quo on our budget with the services we have. You know, we'd like more, yes, but what we have and what we, you know, with the people we have in place now, I think we're doing a good job at all departments, and hopefully we can maintain it, and things of, hopefully we can turn the corner. If the state wouldn't have cut all our money, we'd been in a lot better shape, but yeah, it's water over the dam, and you gotta make the best of it, and we're not gonna do anything different on it.
You gotta carry on.